So these documents that you're indexing are all structured in a particular way. They all are understood to have a particular set of fields to them, including sponsor and perhaps some other fields. They're like named fields, and they have to have that structure in order to work with this database. Is that correct?
You know, it's so here's the thing. Lucene will not enforce a structure on you. You could have every single document be structured differently if for some crazy reason you wanted to. In our case, because our code just operates uniformly over O-types. O-type is kind of our key for how we should interpret the document. In our case, they are standard. And so, for instance, here is so here's an example of the document. And this is a JSON representation of it, but here's the meeting document that is stored in Lucene. So we've got the location, which probably isn't really relevant to anybody except people that work there. You've got notes, and I can stay afterwards and show people that are interested in more of the detailed stuff around this. But yeah, short answer is we do enforce the schema ourselves. There's an excellent project called Solar, which is it's a servlet, an implementation of a servlet around Lucene. So it provides a HTTP interface to Lucene that has tons of features. And if you're getting started, I'd highly recommend just using that instead of Lucene, honestly. It has support for lots of fancy stuff around fields, caching, filtering. It is able to enforce schemas across documents should you choose. It's very cool.
What's the name of this thing?
Solar, S-O-L-R.
And it's an interface to Lucene, or it's
yeah, so it's a servlet wrapper around Lucene. So you take a servlet engine like Tomcat or Jetty, and just pop the jar in the web app folder, and then you're done. Well, I mean, you need to configure to tell where to store stuff in the file system, but basically it's that simple. And then it even provides an admin interface for searching through documents and manipulating things. So I recommend starting there for a lot of people. But so yeah, we enforce the schema, and Solar's awesome. You had a question?
It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
I just wanted to ask you something. So you have this open registration, and that's the front end, right? You have that JSPs. Is that the JSP that people see?
Yes, it's being rendered through JSP templates.
And then you have the business logic in Java, and that connects to the Lucene, right?
Right. Yeah. So literally, and I can start it. Well, I mean, so the front end stuff is a little messier, but literally our workflow. So we receive these documents, and I guess on the last presentation. So I mean, I'm over. So you guys should leave if you want. But since there's no one else coming in, I can.
Yeah, no, we just have like a formal.
Okay. So.
But that's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we need to go, I can talk to people about it later. But so we have files that we get from them called SOBI files. That was a bad idea. Well, so like here, and it's just sort of, wow, that was an empty example. It's just sort of a change log of what's going on, and we get those every 3 minutes from them. And on our end, what we do is we go through this little script here, and we say that we want to write them. So we start time. So we basically get all the files that they give us. We sort them by time so that the events are applied in order, and then we ingest them. And ingest process basically means we just process the data, and then that data gets written to those JSON files that I was showing you. So you could say that the file system is our main storage engine, and that Lucene is just a service that we use to power the website. And we collect a change log from our file storage, and then we pass that to we just pass that to this leucine function, which says, okay, if the operation was delete, then delete the documents. If the operation was add, then go through all the fields and create a document with the fields that that class has and stuff it in. And on the other end, we just say, okay, here's the document. All of our classes are Java beans, so we basically programmatically reconstruct them, and we spit it out to the JSP templates. So really, we're a very, very lightweight wrapper around the functionality of your scene. But it's cool.
If you guys, if you have any questions, you can say, and show them some things. Okay. Thank you.
So, okay. So you guys said you had closing remarks and stuff?
Yeah, sort of. Basically, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming, and for those of you who have been with us all day, thank you especially, because that was a lot of open source all at once. We had a lot of really great presentations, and a lot of people came from all parts of the community, not just University of Albany, and made this really a lot more than we ever expected it to be. We expected one room, 10 presentations, and that was it. We got almost 20 presentations in 2 rooms and extra food and lots of funding. And it's because you guys bothered to show up and present that we could make this possible. And for those of you who came to attend and asked some really interesting questions, that is why we do it. So hopefully the presenters will be willing to come back next year when Catherine's in charge of running this. And not that she didn't do it for me anyway, but and that we'll see you again soon. So thank you guys. Thank you.